Yeah. So as we are discussing the applications of AI, so we have seen the applications of AI in different domains like education and medicine as well, right? So today we'll see applications and advantages of AI in transportation. So here are the few applications of AI in transportation, such as autonomous cars, self-driving trucks, traffic management solutions, drone air taxis, remote control cargo ships, autonomous delivery trucks, driverless trains, and there are many more. Okay, so if we take, for example, traffic management as an example, so we do have traffic signals everywhere on many what you call chaurastas, right, or many chowks, right? So how does this traffic signals or traffic lights works? Anyone? Like, can anyone tell me like how does this traffic signals or traffic lights work?
They are
So
set
there is a
like
time.
they are all the traffic lights in an area are interconnected. So when one turns red, the other turns green, and something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shivadip, you're about to tell something?
Is I have seen once a speedometer. So where when the cars are passing at high speed, the meter shows the average speed. So I think there is something a sensor which measures the density of vehicles on the road. Accordingly, the lights are changing their colors.
Okay. But as of now, in India, we don't use that technology. Right now, like what are the traffic lights that are working in our country are based upon two things. One is based on timings. Like
The
for
time.
every few seconds, yeah, based on timer. For every few seconds, the color changes or the signal changes. Okay.
Hmm.
So based upon the areas, like for example, in some areas the density will be high, and in some areas the density will be low. So based on that, the signaling time will be given. Okay. For example, if the area is very dense area, so in that areas like the traffic timings of will be of one kind. So for example, red signal will be of some time, and then based on orange and green. If there is an area which is very there is an area which is having a chowk which connects only minimal roads, only like two or three roads. Okay, so there could be more time because of the less traffic. As there is high traffic, there will be high time, and if there is less traffic, there will be less time. For example, if you observe, you may have seen like timings like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 20 seconds, and some signals will be having only 5 seconds. So based upon this, based on the areas, these timings will be varied. Okay, and this will be in a sequence. For example, if we have a chowk which is connecting four roads, so this will be in a circular. I mean, it will be in a one direction. So first in one side, but first it will give the green signal for one side, then another side, then another side. Then it will be rotated or repeated continuously, just like a loop. Okay, so this is the traditional process what we are having right now. But by using AI, with the help of artificial intelligence, and you may have observed like CCTV cameras on every near every traffic signal, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yes, sir.
these signals are only for sorry, these cameras are only for stream the information or only to record the information. But if we make these cameras as AI based cameras or smart cameras, they can identify the density as you told Subhadeep. Okay, so you mentioned
Hmm.
sensors, but by using the cameras itself, they can identify the density of the vehicles. So based on the density of the vehicles, the signaling can be controlled. Okay, so yeah, I told there are two ways of controlling signals in India, right? So one is based on timer, like for every few seconds the signals will be changes, and the another way is there will be a traffic police who actually controls the signals. So he'll be sitting in front, he'll be sitting in the center of the road or to one side, and he'll be controlling the signals based upon the traffic density or traffic flow. And if there is a very what you call huge density in one direction, then he'll be giving green signal to the direction for longer time. Okay, so if there is very less traffic, then there will be a red signal for longer time. So based upon the density, then he'll be able to control the signals. So this is one method, but where each and every signal a traffic police has to be deployed, so which is once again increases the human resources. So that's the reason they came up with this plan, like keeping the traffic signals based on timings. But even with the timer signals also, so there is a possibility like you may have a red signal where there is less traffic, there is no traffic. and you may have green signal where there is uh, no density of vehicles, where there is zero density of vehicles. Okay, because that signals are working as per the time, right? So this problem can be resolved with the help of signals which works with the AI cameras or smart cameras, because continuously they'll identify the density of the vehicles. As they continuously identify the density of the vehicles, they can compare. So in which direction the density is high or the density is low. So based upon this comparison, they can go with the signals. If the density is really high, then that side will be given a red signal. If the density is very low, then red signal.
Green.
Okay, so in this way, the signals can be controlled with the help of AI. So this is one of the optimum solution, but India we don't have that. Companies are working on this, but as of now we don't have. Okay, so then coming to drones, have you seen Amazon ad like where the drones will be delivering the products?
Hmm.
Have you seen this video?
Yes.
No, okay, I'll tell you about it. And nowadays, like if you see in different parts of our country, people are using drones to monitor during this COVID-19 situation. Okay, so that is just controlling a drone with the RF, and as they fix the camera to the drone, they're able to stream or they're able to see what's happening or in different regions. Now, the same drones, like which are integrated with AI, so like as I told, there is a video of Amazon like where their products will be delivered by Amazon drones, right? So in this process, like the drone will go to the warehouse, it will pick up just a second. Hi Pratik, Pratik,
Yes, sir.
can you turn on your camera?
No, sir, my internet is really slow. I was like hardly able to join the class because of it.
Hello, no problem. Okay, okay, yeah. So we are discussing about the applications of AI in transportation, like how we in the previous class we have discussed about the applications of AI in education and medicine, right? So now we are discussing about the AI applications of AI in transportation. So these are the few applications I am showing in the presentation. Apart from that, we have many, but we are discussing about these few in detail. Okay, so just we are discussing about the drones, right? So these drones, like as I mentioned, like these drones will be going to the warehouse. They'll be picking the product of the customer, or that will be picking a specific product based upon the program or based upon the information that it has. And after picking that product, so it will be traveling to the coordinates of the customer. Okay, so where there will be taking the address of the customer, because every time you purchase an order, you'll be giving your total address, right? So based upon your address, they'll convert them into coordinates. Coordinates in the sense like by taking your what you call information of your address, they'll convert what you call convert into what you call your location based on latitude and longitude. Okay, so based upon these coordinates, the drone will be able to come to your location. It will identify or recognize your place, and it will find out the best or safest place to drop your product. That means it will understand where your front door is, where your backyard is, where it has enough or sufficient space to drop your product. So it will reach to a certain height so that it will be able to drop your product, and it will drop the product, and then it will go back to the warehouse. So meanwhile you'll be getting a message from Amazon that you have received your product and you have to take it, which is in front of your door, something like that. So this is one of the transport application based on AI in drones. Okay, so I'll share that video once, go through that. Before discussing further points, I want to show one small video like how AI can be used in smart cars or driverless cars. Can you tell me like what is the which company has this driverless cars right now?
Tesla.
Tesla. Okay, do we have these cars in India?
No, I think.
No, we
No,
don't.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll show you a small video, which is not Tesla, but some other company, and you know that company. So after going to that video, then we'll come back to our presentation. Okay. also video.
Nice video.
So
So if the
yeah,
cards are given the addresses, means where we want to go, that is fitted in the card.
yeah,
So
that's
how
how
do,
I mean we have to mention, like as we get into the car, we have to give that information, or we have to mention the, or we have to give our destination location. Then based on that location, it will find out the nearest path with the help of maps, and then it will take to that path, like based upon traffic and all. Okay. So this was from a company called Waymo, and it was earlier a Google project. Like Google has worked on it, then later on it was taken by this thing, like Waymo. Okay. So what you had observed in the video,
we have observed
that
that
one by one.
sir, yeah, we have observed that the car was means first it has been given the instructions where to go, and at the top of the car the camera was fixed so that it can look around at what's going on, means the
Okay.
cars are coming or not. According to that, the car was means according to that the car was means performing the actions.
Okay. Yeah, Shubhadeep.
yes, then it took a turn and means it must know the destination, so it is tracking the map and accordingly it is deciding where to take the right turn or the left turn. So
Okay.
and it stopped when there was a traffic jam, and when there was a person it can identify the person, so he give the side to the person, and that was also nice thing.
So whatever that's happening in front, back, and all the direction, it is observing that, it is understanding, and based on that, it is making an action. Making an action is nothing but making the car to move in any direction, right? So this is how AI can be used. Like if you observe, there is no person. Like in general, like if you want to control or drive a car, so you have to what you call, take care of the steering, clutch, brake, gas, and apart from that, you should focus on what's coming from back and what's there in front. So you have to observe all these things. Like as a human being, should use most of your senses to drive a car. Now you're replacing a human being, and we are giving control to a system where system is taking care of all these things. System is able to change the speed. System is able to see what's there in front, back, or in any direction. System is able to communicate with the passengers or the people who are sitting in the car, and system is able to reach the destination. Okay, so this is where AI can. This is how AI can be used in transportation. Okay. So apart from that, like even we have AI applications or AI usages in remote controlled cargo ships, like where cargo ships can be controlled with the help of remotes, like without any human intervention. And so the same, like the same functionality that we have in autonomous cars, or in the video just now we have seen, the same way even we have autonomous delivery trucks as well. Okay. The only thing is, like when they integrate these AI systems, they consider the geometry of the vehicle or the functionalities of the vehicle. So based upon that, they'll be developing the AI system or AI solution to control. Okay. So then we do have driverless trains. So as of now, like if we take metro trains or normal trains that we have, like metro trains, for example, even we have an option called pilot mode. Like the only thing is that the person who is driving the train, like the pilot, it has to keep in the pilot mode, autopilot mode, sorry, autopilot mode, and he just has to stand and see. If anything is there, he has to take an intervention. That is one thing we have similar to driverless trains, but this is an autopilot mode. But there can be there will be a solution like where without any presence of person also the train can function. Okay, so these are our few applications of AI in transportation. So is this clear? Any
Yes,
doubts
sir.
in this? Any doubts or any questions?
So
Yeah.
if
Mm-hmm.
some places where that the human can understand there is a problem, like uh, when turning we show the backlight so that the vehicles behind they uh, do not get
Any confusion or any
yes, yes, yes.
disturbance?
So
Okay.
that how they that AI will understand.
Okay. So like you are asking me like how, if for example, if there is a person who is going front and is not giving any signal, and how does this AI car understands, right? Is
Do
this
they
your
keep
question?
track on the mirror to see the back image,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See
the
that if you
side
see,
mirror?
yeah, yeah, if you see, like if you just like you have seen in the video on the top of the car there is a one these thing like one covering
Camera.
like thing. Yeah, camera.
Uh,
So that is a 360 degrees camera. Like
oh,
it will be covering in all the directions. Okay.
okay.
So apart from these cameras, even it will be having sensors, so which will be understanding about the vehicle functionality and any nearby approaches, like very nearby approaches. If some vehicles come up suddenly approaches very nearby from behind, it will be able to control itself and it will be able to move forward or left or right. Okay. For
Okay.
example, you are driving a car and all of a sudden a vehicle coming from back. So what you'll be doing? Automatically either you take your I mean either you drive forward or you'll
Accelerator.
take left, right? Yeah, exactly. You'll
Uh,
apply accelerator. If there is no vehicle in forward, you'll go forward. If there any vehicle is in the forward, like either you'll try to take left or right based upon the
Left,
availability
right.
of it. Yeah.
Mm.
So in the same way the vehicles also, these vehicles like driverless vehicles also, apart from the cameras, like they will be having lot of sensors as well. Okay. In simple process, the whatever the system that will be integrated in these vehicles, so these systems will be continuously taking data from these cameras and different sensors. Okay.
Mm.
So based upon the data that is taken from the cameras and sensors, the system will take a decision and it will function the vehicle or it will control the vehicle. Okay.
Mm.
So based upon the data, see that's so where data science and all comes into the picture. Because on a second there will be a lot of data is generated, like every moment or every second cameras will generate data, sensors will
Mm.
generate data. So this data has to be minimized, or this data has to be understood, and from this certain results has to be obtained. Results are nothing but predictions. Okay, so based upon those results the vehicle will be able to take control. So this is
Mm.
the space where data analytics and data science will come into picture. By using some data science algorithms or by data science solutions, the system will be able to generate the only required information from all this raw data. The raw data which is generated from cameras and sensors, from all these informations, it will make decisions. I mean, it will make few predictions, and based on those predictions, it will make some decisions. Okay, so let me tell you like how this data science and AI work together. You may heard about, I mean, you may use services like Ola, Uber,
Yes, sir.
as well. What do we have? Rapido. Okay. So
Mm.
every time you open your application or every time you log in your application, so before you booking a cab, like you'll be able to see some vehicles nearby your location, right? At
Mm.
least one or two. Okay. So there will be rare cases like if you're in very different location, you may not have vehicles or you may not their service. But apart from that, whenever you log into their application, you'll be able to see at least one or two vehicles. Okay.
Mm.
So now let me tell you a small story behind this uh, applications. It could be Uber or Ola or the Rapido. So what happens? Like whenever you log in, so whenever you're using this application, you're connecting to their server, right? For example, if we take Uber, so whenever you're logging in your Uber, so you're logging into Uber server or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That means that Uber company knows. I mean, and every time you use this application, you should give your location. When you have to give access to your location. Yeah. So every time you log in your application, whenever you open your application, you'll be connected to Uber server, and Uber knows like where you are. Okay. So in the same way, let's consider there are around 10 or 15 people using the same application. I mean, whether they book the cab or not, that's a different scenario, but they're using that application. In general, we'll be opening that application just to book a cab. So as you open this, so this information will be monitored by Uber, and they'll be using this information to connect the drivers. So as we have user application in Uber, drivers are also having an application called Uber Driver or Uber Partner. So once they open their application, so they will be seeing different colors like demanding areas. orange, green, red. If there is a red color region, that means highly demanded area. If that is orange, like moderate demand. If there is green, like no users are there. Okay. So how this Uber getting this information from us? As we log in the application or if we open as we open the application, they understand that this many number of users are there. If at least 10 or 15 users are there in nearby locations, at least 2 or 3 cabs can be booked on worst case. That means before they booking the cabs, there should be some cabs available nearby. So that's the reason like they'll give this information to the drivers as demanding areas like highly demand, low demand, and moderate demand. So based on these demanding areas, the drivers will be reaching those places. That's how like based on that, like you'll be able to book the cab and the driver will be able to approach your location easily or fastly, like without wasting time. Like if you're booking a cab and he is almost 4 or 5 kilometers away, to reach your place, it will take some time, right? But if he stays almost nearby your place, something like 500 meters or 400 meters to nearby your place, so as soon as you book the cab, he'll be reaching your location within less amount of time. So that's how they'll use AI and data science here. Like these companies use AI and data science here to connect the client and customer. Okay, they'll use your data and they'll be giving this data in another form to the Uber or Uber drivers. So by using that, they'll come to your places, they'll pick you and they'll drop you. Okay. So who is the actual customer here? We are the actual customers. And who are the actual service providers here? The cab drivers are service providers. In between Uber is in between Uber is just taking our information and giving the information to drivers here. So who is benefiting here? The most beneficial person here, either the user or the driver or the company or I mean Uber.
Community, Uber person.
U- Uber
Those who
person,
are
I mean Uber
those
company
who
or
are
Uber drivers.
companies.
Company, Uber company. Because see, for driver it is only one booking, and for user it is only one service. But coming to the same company, it is connecting millions of people to millions of drivers. And every time they make a booking, at least 5 to 10% of the charges are taken by Uber from every transaction. So like there in that way, there are millions of transactions happening daily throughout India. Okay. So that's the reason like within less time they are growing like anything. Either if you can take Uber or Ola, you may heard about Airbnb.
Yes, for
Airbnb,
they provide hotels in when we
exactly,
go for tour.
exactly.
And
Airbnb, Oyo. So these are all the companies like they don't have their own assets. Do you find any Uber owned car?
no,
No.
No, sir.
They,
they use the tourist model of
yeah,
I think
exactly.
Maruti Suzuki, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So these are all like drivers owned vehicles. In the same way, if we talk about Airbnb and Oyo also, the hotels and the services that you're talking about, all these, I mean, what do you call properties are owned by the different owners. The only thing either this Airbnb or Oyo companies are just connecting to the what do you call property owners. Okay, they have their own application or they have their own software where users are using it and getting the bookings to that properties. Okay, so here once again user is different and owner is different. So these companies in between the user and owner and they're making money. And so this is also based upon the AI and data science, what we call data science. Okay, so in this way, like there are a lot of companies now which are growing like anything by using these services like data science and AI. Okay, so any doubts in this?
Sir, I have a
Sir,
question.
Yeah, you can.
Sir, in the normal when we detect that there is something problem in the car, so we go to the mechanic. But
Yeah.
as we talk about the AI cars, they have the ability to detect themselves also.
Exactly. They will be having uh, they'll be having this process to detect whether everything is working or not. Okay. So every time they start or every time you ignite your vehicle or every time you start the vehicle, so it will cross check whether everything is working because I told you it will be having many sensors, right? So each
yes,
sensor
sir.
will be detecting its own service, or it will be fulfilling its own purpose. For example, there will be a sensor which will continuously detect the fuel content, because irrespective of fuel, you can't make your vehicle to travel. Right? Either it could be electric vehicle or it could be a fuel-based vehicle. If it is an electric vehicle, it should be charged. If it is a fuel-based vehicle, either petrol or diesel has to be filled. So there will be a sensor which continuously monitors this. There will be a sensor which will continuously monitor the working or functionality of the engine. So in that way, it will be having. That's why I'm telling there will be many number of sensors which will be continuously working, and they'll continuously generate data to the system. So based on that data, it will take a decision. For example, it's going well and suddenly it faces some issue with the engine. So ultimately, what this vehicle does, like it will report to the nearest what you call mechanic or the service provider of this vehicle, because I don't think normal mechanics will be able to work on this vehicle. Okay, so it will be giving information to the service provider of these kind of vehicles by giving the location and all, so that they can approach here. Or otherwise, if it has the capability of moving, then it will go to that location. I mean, it has those sensors to detect what's happening and regarding its equipment. It could be engine, or it could be what you call wheels, or it could be everything, anything that is a part or that is some component of the vehicle. Okay. Any doubts?
So if a company like Uber uses these driverless cars, then it will save many money because you not need to recruit drivers for that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
uh,
But
then
yeah, yeah,
many drivers will lose job also, because
But sir,
uh,
this will require a large amount of investment too.
yes,
exactly,
so
exactly.
many cars are.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So the thing is, like in India, to get these solutions, it's not that easy, because before we get these solutions on these here, we should have that environment or that platform. Like countries like US, like they have proper roads and people follow traffic rules in a very strict manner. Then there is a possibility of deploying. That's the reason we don't have any driverless cars here, like Tesla, because we are not
Hmm.
sure when and who will be entering onto the road in which direction. Okay, and only even though in metro cities also we don't have any proper footpaths as well, right? We don't know when
Hmm.
person enters onto the road and when a person suddenly we will be able to see in situations like a car will be moving in center of the highway, all of a sudden it will take left. Otherwise, all of a sudden it will be taking U-turn.
Hmm.
Okay, so these kind of things keep on happening, but in foreign countries like US, there is a possibility. Okay, so yeah, so this is how will be how AI can be used in the transportation domain. And as we have discussed, I think we have already discussed between the relation between AI and ML, right?
Yes.
Okay, machine learning is nothing but component of AI, where we'll be having few algorithms based on ML, so that will be integrated on AI to make it to take decisions. Just now in the transportation system, I told it will be getting a lot of data, right? So based on the data, it should take some decisions. But to refine that data and to take the decision from data, it should have a model, a learning model or decision making model. So that